Stephen, filled with the Holy Spirit, looked up intently to heaven and saw the glory of God, and Jesus standing at the right hand of God. And Stephen said, "Behold, I see the heavens opened, and the Son of Man standing at the right hand of God." But they cried out in a loud voice, covered their ears, and rushed upon him together. They threw him out of the city and began to stone him. The witnesses laid down their cloaks at the feet of a young man named Saul. As they were stoning Stephen, he called out, "Lord Jesus, receive my spirit." Then he fell to his knees and cried out in a loud voice, "Lord, do not hold this sin against them." And when he said this, he fell asleep. The word of the Lord.
A responsorial psalm, number 813. 813. I will praise your name.
I, John, heard a voice saying to me, "Behold, I am coming soon. I bring with me the recompense I will give to each according to his deeds." I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the end. Blessed are those who wash their robes, so as to have the right to the tree of life, and enter the city through its gates. I, Jesus, sent my angel to give you this testimony for the churches. I am the root and offspring of David, the bright morning star. The Spirit and the bride say, come. Let the hearers say, come. Let the one who thirsts come forward, and the one who wants to receive the gift of life-giving water. The one who gives this testimony says, yes, I am coming soon. Amen. Come, Lord Jesus. The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
Lifting his eyes to heaven, Jesus prayed, saying, Holy Father, I pray not only for them, but also for those who will believe in me through their word, so that they may all be one, as you, Father, are in me and I in you, that they also may be in us, that the world may believe that you sent me. And I have given them all the glory you gave me, so that they may be one as we are one, I and them, and you and me, that they may be brought to perfection as one, that the world may know that you sent me, and that you love them even as you love me. Father, they are your gift to me. I wish that where I am, they also may be with me, that they may see the glory that you have gave me, because you loved me before the foundation of the world. Righteous Father, the world also does not know you, but I know you, and they know that you sent me. I made known to them your name, and I will make it known, that the love with which you love me may be in them, and I in them. The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Jesus' time of teaching about the Father's kingdom had drawn to an end, and there would be no more opportunity to hold a leper or sit in Mary's home in Bethany and talk of his Father's wonders, at least not in this body, not in the way that he had grown accustomed. Our blessed Lord had returned to Jerusalem for his final visit, and this morning's Gospel finds our blessed Lord at table with his disciples at the Last Supper, hours from yielding himself to his executioners, his heart deeply troubled. He stood at the threshold of the greatest act of love and trust our world would ever behold, and he knew in doing so he would be completely consumed. So what should he do? Would he trust his Father's love and continue the journey, or would he cut it short and beckon the angels to set him free? Perhaps the most powerful lesson Jesus taught his disciples about prayer begins in the verse following this morning's gospel by polling how the apostles thought he should pray. Fellows, what should I say? Father, save me from this hour? And perhaps there were nods around the table as they all acknowledged how good that sounded to them. That's how they were used to praying. In moments of trial and pain, it's natural for even the unbeliever to cry out for help. Save me, Lord, and if you get me out of this, I will serve you forever. This past Monday, we celebrated Memorial Day, honoring, praying for, and praying with our country's heroes who made the ultimate sacrifice. This Thursday, we will remember the 75th anniversary of the D-Day invasion. So many on the Normandy beaches were added to the number we honored last Monday. This story printed in last Sunday's Wall Street Journal. My friend once told me in describing that day of a moment when, as a U.S. Navy ensign, he was piloting his packed landing craft toward Dog Red Sector on Omaha Beach. They cast off in darkness, and when dawn broke, they saw they were in the middle of a magnificent armada. Nearby, some light British craft had gone down, and suddenly a landing craft came close by, and an Englishman called out, "I say, fellows, which way to point the hook?" They pointed to the right. "Very good," said the Englishman, who touched his cap and sped on. My friend remembered the moment with the air of, life is haphazard, it's a mess, and you're going to be in the middle of a great endeavor, but you maintain your composure, you keep your spirit. In other words, Father, it was for this reason that I came to this hour, glorify your name. So yes, the disciples understood this type of prayer well enough, but Jesus wanted them to learn a better way. Even when Jesus' life was at stake, Jesus was tuned into a better frequency. At the crucifixion, the thief on the left said, "If you are the Christ, save yourself and us." In other words, save me, Lord. The bystanders at the crucifixion, "You who would destroy the temple and rebuild it in 3 days, save yourself." He saved others, he cannot save himself. In other words, save me, Lord. Fellas, what should I say, Father? Save me from this hour? Well, forget that. No, it was for this reason that I came to this hour. What Jesus wanted personally was not in the picture. He was focused elsewhere on the purpose that transcended his personal happiness, and his purpose was prayed for when Jesus said, "Father, glorify your name." In this brief exchange, you learn everything you need to know about prayer and what it means to follow God in this life. For in every situation you'll ever encounter, you will be offered options. Father, save me, or Father, glorify your name. One will lead you to frustration and disillusionment, the other to the greatest wonders of God's heart. This is where today's gospel comes in. When Jesus prays to the Father, "I have given them the glory you gave me." Jesus' teaching about prayer seems to be incredibly simple. Ask for whatever you wish, and be assured that the Father will give it to you. Well, it gets complicated only when our experience with prayer falls short of this ideal. Why would Jesus tantalize us with such outlandish promises only to leave us disappointed in so many of the things for which we ask? It's not too difficult to understand why he would ignore our more selfish requests. Even the disciples had to learn this. Instead of calling down fire from heaven as James and John had asked, Jesus taught them that such ideas came from the wrong place. And when James and John asked for a seat at his right and at his left, Jesus taught them that there was no place for anyone to set themselves above anyone else. It's far more difficult to understand why our prayers for other people in pain and misery go unanswered. So here's the question. Was Peter responding in any way less than love when he forbade Jesus to go to Jerusalem to face his executioners? I doubt it. Yet, Peter's entreaty was met with the harshest rebuke. Get behind me, Satan, because you are not thinking as God does, but as humans do. Peter did not understand that God's higher purpose in the cross Jesus would suffer. For God to have answered Peter's prayer, God would have afforded the very act that would save Peter from himself. Peter did not understand that he was giving voice to Satan's attempts to discourage Jesus from obeying the Father. It was a save me prayer, or rather a save him prayer, that, like most save me prayers, resisted God's purpose rather than serve it. Father, glorify your name is the prayer God always answers. Father, may the purpose for which you have created me and placed me where you have in the world be completely fulfilled in and by me. That's the prayer that disarms our self-interests and asserts our trust that the Father who made us and who loves us so deeply knows us better than we know ourselves. Pray this prayer in every situation faced. When God wanted to teach me to trust him more, I prayed he would fix things so I wouldn't have to. When God wanted to lead me in the fullest participation of what he made me to be, I prayed he would just make me happy. When God wanted me to change my character so I would represent his heart to others, I wanted him to lead me the way I was. And I'm so glad he won. More often, in spite of my prayers than because of them, because we want God to win. We really do. We want God to use everything in life to shape us to be more like him, so that he can fulfill in us the purpose for which he made us. So, when you don't get the job you wanted, or the raise you deserved, or the medical report you had hoped for, Father, save me, or Father, glorify your name. When faced with malicious gossip, or Facebook lies, or the object of someone's selfishness, Father, save me, or Father, glorify your name. When we find ourselves in the dark storm surrounding us, and when trials overwhelm us, Father, save me, or Father, glorify your name. The prayer is, Father, glorify your name every time.